Hi, welcome to today's series where we're going to be talking about improving things for the kind of sports you're playing, which are maybe rotational sports. So your tennis or maybe your golf or pickleball, whatever it is that you're playing where you're using a lot of momentum in the upper body to get through your shots. So we don't only focus on the upper body, we're going to focus on other areas as well, which are going to be relevant for everything that you're doing, no matter what your sporting endeavor. So our first exercise that we use is bridging, because bridging is going to be strengthening into your lower body and your spine. So taking a lie down onto your back surface, just feeling the contact of all the parts of your body on the floor. So letting the shoulders just drop down nice and heavy, and then feeling your feet even and parallel. As we start to roll up, we aim the knees out and forward away from you, and then just feeling your weight between the head and the shoulders, and then slowly rolling your spine back down towards the floor. Now, as we keep going, remember you could do a rolling spine, you could do a hinging spine. Whatever is working in your body is what you want to be doing. So as we do these movements, the emphasis is on feeling the connection of your back body. So your leg muscles at the back, your glute muscles into your spinal muscles, the feeling of your feet on the ground. So not overly working in the heels, not overly working in the toes, but a nice balance in between the two. So we'll do 2 more times, just bringing your body up away from the floor. And then the coming down, just really slow it down. There's no need to rush your body back towards the mat surface again. Last time, we're going to keep the bridge up at the top. So we're building our endurance here. And what we're going to do is send your 2 arms in a nice big lengthen over the top of your head. Make sure you've got space to do a circle around and to your sides. And then again, sending the arms all the way back behind you and circle around. So we need really good shoulder function as we do these rotational sports. So just getting a gentle movement into that area. Rest your arms at your side and then roll your spine back to the floor. We're going to repeat that, or you're going to change the direction of your circle. So we're rolling back up towards the top, pausing in the air, feel the weight between your 2 feet, between your 2 shoulders, and then circle the arms out to the side over the top of you, and then bringing it back down again. So you may find one way is smoother or easier than the other, and that's quite normal because we have preferences of how our arms are moving, but the news is that we've got really good function in all directions, and then coming back again down towards your mat. We're going to go for 1 more time as we raise the hips away from the floor. And as we do, again, we're going to send the arms just straight up towards the ceiling. Turn the palms to face each other, and then scissor your arms, 1 down, 1 up, and then change them over. We have another 2 on each side. So each time we're adding in a new layer of movement, we add in new sort of coordination of your body and brain. I think we're going to end with that, and then rolling the body all the way back and down, resting yourself towards the floor. Let's flip over onto your side and start with our first pure rotation motion. So you're going to do what we call a book opening. So both hands are laced very securely behind the back of your head so that your head is very supported. As you're lying here, you want to feel like the whole body is in a position in parallel with the edge of your mat. So your head, shoulders, and pelvis. Don't be on a diagonal line. You won't get the same rotation feel. Your knees are going to be balanced on top of each other, and we're going to open your top arm and roll your chest upward toward the ceiling. You stay for a pause and a breath in, and then we're breathing out as you roll yourself forward again to your closed position. So this would be the closed book, and then the opening of the book as you expose your chest bone, which would be the spine, I suppose, of the book, and then rolling yourself closed. So many anatomical references in a book. And then 1 more time as we open out. Now from here, we're going to stay in this backward shape and then pause, release your top arm. So you're going to create a right angle with your elbow. From here, you're going to slide the arm above you, lengthening it towards the wall, and then pull that elbow down towards your side as deep as you can. And again, stretch the arm up and draw the arm back. And we'll do that 1 more time, reaching the fingers up and bringing them down, and then collect your head again, lacing your fingers, and then closing yourself all the way back towards your start. I'm going to flip over so you can see it from the opposite angle if you were watching on. So we're going to have that same alignment where you've got your head, knees, and shoulders all balanced up, and we've got your hands laced perfectly behind the back of your head. From here, we'll open the top elbow, resting that head into your arms or your hand, and you roll the chest back. Take your breath in, and then exhaling to close yourself to your start. And then we're repeating, rolling the chest bone up for the sky, and then rolling it closed. So in this one, you want to prevent yourself from rolling backward with your hips. So you could think of an image of pushing your knee forward as you roll backward. Hold this position here, making that sort of right angle shape with your arm, and then sliding the arm. It should slide hopefully more in parallel with the floor rather than sort of dropping down onto the mat. And again, lengthening the arm above you and then pulling the arm in. And then we'll do that one more time as we stretch the arm high and then pull the arm in. Return the hands behind your head and then close your book. From this position, we're going to push you up onto all fours as we continue with a little bit of twisting action. So here we've got hands and shoulder placement, very important. If your arms are too far forward, then you're not going to have the correct alignment. Same with your legs. So in this position, you're going to take one hand and we're going to slide it through, bending into the elbow. Let's just start with your hand resting on the floor and looking to the side, and then coming back up. We'll change to the opposite side as you go into a little elbow bend, lengthening the arm through. Now, this might be the level that you have to stay at, and that's okay. It will get better over time. If you can go a little further and you want to lower your shoulder, lower your head to the floor, that's an option as well, and coming up. But you don't want to force yourself to get into that position if your spine and muscles are not ready for that action of your body. We'll do one more time to each side as we stretch on through and then coming back up. So important here is that your hips are staying balanced over your knees and that you're not shifting your weight with you one way or the other, and then coming back again. All right, from here, we just have to do a close adjustment, and then we're going to stay on all fours again. So finding work now in your upper body. We're going to collapse the chest down to the floor, requiring the shoulders to come closer to each other behind you. Press the floor away and find your balance with your shoulder blades on your ribs. And again, sink the chest and press the chest. So these muscles are really important in how we hold our shoulder blades on the back of our body. And with anything that we're using our arms in this beautiful range of movement that we have in any of the swings that we're working through, it's important to have control in this joint. From here, we're going to pause and you're going to tuck your toes under and we're going to hover your knees away from the ground. So let's pick the knees up and count for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower the knees back to the mat. We've got another 2 of them to go. Now, if your toes don't bend easily like this, you can do it with a flat foot. And again, lifting up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. But it's really important to really work on that toe extension. So over time, we lift again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bringing it back down. It's really important to try and get that functionality back into your feet if it seems to have disappeared for any reason. Still staying here, strong through your upper body. Make sure you haven't collapsed down and the head fallen. So really good postural position. I have a dog behind me, so I'm making sure that I don't kick him as I go out. From here, we're going to extend one leg back. So your feet is as though we're about to do a push-up or a plank hold. So we're going to hold the leg out like that, and then we are going to transition the other leg back to meet it. So we hold for a brief second, pull the first knee underneath you, and then pull the second knee in. So I'm going to alternate legs every move I make. So now I'm going out with the opposite side, and then making sure my frame is good as I take the other leg to match it, bringing the first leg in and under, and then the second leg. So notice the speed I'm going at is not very fast. So as we're doing this, you really want to be controlled, mindful, making sure that all your joints are working for you effectively and not against you. Last one as we stretch you out into your plank and then travel back in and return down. From here, we'll just relax the toes down into a comfortable position. And you're going to lower your forearms down towards the mat and then bring yourself back up. So this is a basic push-up action, which gets you a lot of tone that you don't even realize is happening, but it doesn't give you the strain of a full push-up. So we've got 5 in a row. We've got 2 to go. So this action of the elbows and into the shoulder joints is, again, very strong and strengthening, where you've got closed contact of your hands to the floor. From here, we're going to take your right hand on top of your left hand. So you've got a widespread left fingers and right fingers facing in the opposite way. We're going to go back into that same motion. So you're going to bend into that elbow to touch the floor and then bring yourself back up. And again, bend and lift. We've got 1 more of these because we're going to add on. We're going to change arms. So forearm is going to go down onto the right, and look, we're back in a rotation, and then back up. And again, the hand that's on the top is the elbow that's going to the floor. The other one is going to bend slightly. Let that happen. That's number 3. Now we're going to combine the 2. So we're going to go down with the front arm, then down with the other arm. Come up with the left, come up with the right. So we go down with the right, down with the left, up with the left, and up with the right. 1 more time. Down, down, and up, up. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. So taking the left hand across the right palm, and then starting with the right elbow coming to the floor forearm, and then standing back up. So you'll see that as I come backward and downward, my left elbow is also bending, but I'm not making contact with the floor at the moment. And then again, standing yourself up. 1 more time. Sorry, that was our last one. Now we go to the front arm. Left elbow comes down and it comes back up. And again, it goes down and up. Now, let your eyes move in the direction towards the right side to enhance the rotation. Let's add the 2 together. So we go first with the left, down with the right, up with the right, and up with the left. And 2 more times, down, and up, and up. And 1 last one, down, down, up, and bring it all the way back to your start. All right, so there was a lot of great work through that part. This next one is going to be a little bit challenging potentially if you've got some tighter hips. So my suggestion is to go and get a few props like towels or something that you can stick under your knees if your knees are hanging up into the air too much. So what we're going to do is start with our feet close together. You're going to have to move there as we put the feet into a diamond position. So if your knees are way up here and you're in a rounded back, possibly even use a wall to sit yourself up against. So in this position, you're just going to go into a stretch forward. So your hands are coming towards your feet. If you've got the capacity to lace your fingers, go for that. If you don't, just put your hands where they feel the most comfortable. Now I'm just going to turn side on again so that as you can see, when I'm in this position, I'm focusing on a lengthened back position. So I don't want to be round and collapsed. I'm almost using my hands on my legs to pull my chest bone forward so that I get a good stretch coming around the back of my hips, maybe even down into those outer leg muscles, and then coming forward. We've got someone who wants to really be in my lap today and is bringing all the toys out. All right, we'll do that 1 more time as we go forward, getting into a good stretch here. And taking into a couple of breaths. Remember, shoulders relaxed away from you. And coming up, of course, if you're doing this at home, you may be having the same experience I have with an animal who just is craving your attention. All right, so what we're going to do next is straighten your left leg out and cross your right leg over. From here, we're going to take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee and then place your right hand behind you. None of this should feel forced. So only go where you feel you can go. So all we're going to do is begin to push gently into the left elbow, which is going to give you some traction to be able to twist and look around, and then derotate. And then again, push into the elbow, twist and look, and relax. So the eyes are really important here. Focusing on them tracking further and further each time is also going to help your spine move. We're going to change our position over. So we've got our left leg over the right elbow goes over the edge of the knee, and the left hand goes behind you. Again, we gently push elbow to knee and then turn and look over your shoulder direction and then release. This is a big stretch, so make sure that you do not push yourself into something that doesn't feel achievable. And how you know is if you can't breathe easily here, then you need to back off. This is our last one as we go into that lovely twist and then coming out of that. All right, well, we've got one more movement to do, and that's going to be some back work. So we need to have a really strong back body in order to do all of these different sports we're doing. So we're going to flip over onto your tummy position again. From here, we're going to start onto our belly area with our arms out at a right angle shape, and then just lowering your chest towards the floor. Breath in, and then we start with a little lift of your chest up. Maintain the elbows, maintain the hands on the mat. So you're not going to be up very high. Your lower ribs are still on the contact surface of the mat, and then returning your body to the floor. So I like to use an out breath as I raise the chest away, and then inhale as you lower. And just getting that little peeling sensation. And this is important that you're not trying to throw your head forward. That's going to jam the lower part of your head position. So we want to really be mindful that it's like you're trying to peel that chest bone away from the mat, but keeping your eyes just looking forward away from the mat, but not at the wall in front of you. And then on the next one, if your back is tolerable of this one, we first peel up through that upper back space. Lengthening into the arms is going to get you up higher, and that's going to work the lower part of your body a bit more. So from your glutes down your legs, and then coming back smoothly to your mat. We'll do that again as we peel the spine up and stretch out long, and then lower your body all the way back to the ground. We've got one more time as we peel the body high and lower all the way to the mat. All right, so pressing yourself up into a sitting position from here, and we've got a new one, which is just our last one, which will be a stretch of your upper thigh. So sitting into a cross-legged position like this, if you find you're leaning off to the side or to the other side and it's very uncomfortable, then prop yourself up where you need to. So if you're leaning to the side like that, you might need to put something underneath your hip. What we're going to do is go with this is my left knee forward. I'm going to take my right elbow back behind me, and that's going to give me a good stretch coming down the front of the thigh. So allow for this little rotation in your body as you are lengthening through here. We're very mindful that your knee, your hip, and your lower back are feeling safe. If this is okay and you want to take it to the next place, that's when we can go onto two elbows, looking forward, still feeling like your lower back and spine are sort of flowing down. I always think of it like a slippery slope down. So I'm not arching my lower back to try and get into this pose. I still want to feel very supported around my center. And then we're going to come out of that as we roll over to a side and come up. The challenge would be, can you change legs without touching the ground? If you can't, don't worry, you'll get there in time. Again, just making sure that you feel comfortable on the side. And then again, you go down with the elbow that's opposite to the one that's on the ground, or facing forward, the leg that we're stretching. And again, you might need to stay here for a few breaths. You might need to stay here for all of them. But if you want to, or you can, and you are willing, then we're going to take it into the double elbows on the floor. I always love the videos with Bear because you just never know what he's going to do. Today he's been great. He just wants to be with all of you. And then we'll again rotate to your side and bring you all the way up from here. Well, our finale to get us up away from the ground, which is really important anyway, is let's put both hands on the floor again. Let's go into the tuck of your toes. And then this time we're going to send the hips to the ceiling. We're going to keep those knees nice and bent as you stretch yourself out and nice and long. So your spine is long, your arms are long. From here, you're going to lengthen one heel to the floor, straighten the leg as much as you can, and then bend into that heel again. And then go for
the other side, nice big stretch and lengthen. And in return, we'll do 2 more each side. Now, if you are someone who's got longer hamstrings and is more capable of doing something like that, then why not try for the double heels flat and then just bending, rolling up onto the ball of the foot, and then stretching yourself out. With mindfulness again, bend the knees as much as you need to as you walk yourself towards your feet. Put your hands onto your knees if you need, and press yourself all the way up to standing. And that's how I'm going to leave you today, although I'm going to get back down onto the ground to cuddle with my dog. I hope this works for you and it improves your golf swing or your serving action or just whatever you're doing in a rotational based sport. Have a great day. You're my love.